Hey everyone, join me today as we take a look at how the garden's going on May 18th, New Jersey, Zone 7A. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by today. Joe here, and today we're going to take a look at where the garden is at this point in spring. It is the middle of May. We're past the middle of May right now, and I've been working on some various projects, and I'm going to show you those, as well as we'll take a look at how some things are doing great and some things are not doing so great. So let's take a look and stop wasting time. So here we are in the yard, and we always joke, MaryAnn and I, that this is Jurassic Park section right here. The hostas are absolutely huge. Take a look at these tiger lilies. These will have orange flowers on them. Those were just transplanted there a couple of years ago. They are absolutely gigantic. I keep dividing them because they are just too big. And even the sedum in here, if you take a look, it's trying to compete with all of these large things around it. Rather than getting lost, they are stepping up and becoming absolutely large themselves. So really happy with this section. It's looking absolutely lush and full, and loving it. The rhododendron right there is just beginning to bloom. It has such pretty flowers. And it's something that MaryAnn loves, the rhododendron, because her mother loved it so much. And I think it reminds her, not that she needs to be reminded, but it reminds her of how much her mother loved the rhododendron. Back in here, you can see I made a little walkway back there. You can see it's kind of getting hidden by the hostas. They're so gigantic. But that's my garden section right there. Now, I was going to go get my tomato plants yesterday, and I did not. I'm glad I didn't, because last night it dropped down to like 45 degrees. Not that that's so bad, but I'm glad I didn't put them in. I'm going to put them in probably tomorrow. I did have some extra basil, and I put it back in here. I'm experimenting with the basil because I'm finding on the side of the house, which faces north, the basil does very well initially on the one side of the house, and although this is still facing north on this side, this does better later on in the summer. So trying that out. And as you can see, I moved some of the tiger lilies back in here as well. This is MaryAnn's grandfather's wine press that I turned into a planter, but you can see the dirt got like cement in there. I have to empty that all out, and I think I'm going to put plants in pots in there rather than just fill it up with dirt. I don't know why that happened, but it happened. Here are the irises. I think they're called bearded irises, and they were purple. They were absolutely beautiful. I deadheaded them just the other day. I got rid of all of the dead stems. Take a look at this beautiful lavender topiary. It was $29.99. I got it in Home Depot, and fingers crossed that that's going to do well. I absolutely love it. I think it's just like a pow. The flowers on there are absolutely beautiful. They look like tiny little pineapples, don't they? And then on this thing right here, I have a lantern. I think I'm going to hang that there. I'll share that with you when I get it. The ornamental grass right back there is coming up nicely. And these liope, I think that's how you say it. I say it liriope. That's my New Jersey accent. But it's liope, I think. Don't laugh. And they're just coming up nice and full now. As you can see, there's another experiment of a basil right there. This side is facing due east, and we'll see how that does as well. My boxwood that I'm turning into a conifer, God bless, doing good. Euonymus back there. There's more irises. Take a look at these hostas that are absolutely unfreaking real. Unbelievable. Okay. And in here, I'm starting to add a little interest into the garden. So I got a couple of 4x4s, Home Depot, $12.97 a piece for an 8-foot piece. This was one 8-foot piece right here. I have to get another to continue around to separate my brown stones from my white stones. Again, I try to add interest with hardscape in different colors of stones. I like more stones back here. I used to have a lot of grass back here, but it was a pain with the pool, and so I went more to hardscape. And believe it or not, a lot of these plants don't shed. Those are the kind I chose so that I don't have a problem that I have to keep scooping out of the pool. Obviously, flowers do shed, but I try to keep on top of them. I do a lot of deadheading and so on, so that I don't get that shedding. But take a look at that combination of the purples and that fuchsia with the yellow. Absolutely beautiful. I have one of these on this side of the entrance to the pool and one of them on this side of the entrance of the pool, so it gives that pop of color as you're going in. And notice where I have the 4x4s, I also have the 4x4s on that side, not in the same design, but carrying over the same idea. So before we go over here, let's take a look over here. We see the coral bells that I separated. I bought a coral bell plant, and it was actually 4 different plants. I separated it into, I took 1/4 of it off and I put it in here. And this right here, this is called stone crop right there. That's a sedum that I stuck in there that will creep along the stones, and I think it will look really nice. I started dividing some other sedum up. You can see I just stuck that right there. And also to add some interest to these 4x4s, you can see every once in a while I stop and I put a couple of rocks in between there, just so it doesn't look so contrived, if that makes any kind of sense to you. Back here, we have an azalea that's just about spent. We have another azalea back there that is not doing great. When I dug it out, along with it came a daffodil, so I have to cut those down, but I'm letting them finish up. Some lily of the valley, and this, which is a seedling from the smoke bush, or I call it the smoke tree, that my father gave me. So I'm very happy that I have this growing right here. It just needs support because it's very thin right now. The barberry here is the snake grass right here. I have to keep that under control because that grows very, very large. More barberry, repeating that again on the side of the pool. Another boxwood that I'm training into a tall cylindrical, column shape is what I want here. These are 2 boxwoods that I have more like in a can kind of a shape. And we'll come along here. We see more of the grass, the ornamental grass, and the hostas and the irises as it spills into the pool. If you're wondering why the pool is still covered, it's because it's one more layer of work that I don't need at this moment in time. I'm not opening the pool until June. The Craig Myrtle is just budding, and I know if you're down south, you already have flowers on yours. Mine is just getting leaves on it. And as you can see, I'm training it into this tree. Excuse me. So I used pool noodles here to protect the branches, and then I tied it back into the fence, and I'm getting the shape that I want. That's how you train your tree. Don't be afraid to do that. It works very, very well. Okay, let me go around on the other side of the pool and share this whole new section that I'm very excited about that I created. I don't know if you caught that video. So here I put this extra little walkway in. I use some of these stones. These are squares, and then I use the soldier course of the bricks, and I put some cement in there to hold them down, and in the cracks I added that stone crop sedum as well to give it more of a softer look. Then what I did was I landscaped over here. This was completely blank just a couple of weeks ago. I landscaped in here. I put the vinca in here and that yellow sedum with the coral bells, and this beautiful container with the canna lilies, the diplodenia, which is right here, that plant right there, which this is the bush type. There's a bush type and a vine type. This is the bush type, but it gets to a point where it becomes a vine type, so it'll spill over the container, and I think that'll look great combined with the yellow marigolds that supposedly the mosquitoes hate and that we always have a problem with here. Mosquitoes. Excuse me. This is another vinca. See what I did here? I wanted to spill over on each side. I only have one 4x4 in there. I'm probably going to add more as time goes on. And you can see I split more sedum and I put them right here. And this beautiful catmint right here, I put 3 in this section. Excuse the person mowing their lawn next door. And another catmint right here. Then in here, there's a corabelle that I split. And you can see I added another grass and another sedum right in there. The rocks, I stumbled upon someone who's excavating. This is all bluestone, which is common in the Palisades of New Jersey. Very dense, hard rock that whole plateau is built upon. So they're very heavy, and so I'm taking a little bit out of it, a little at a time. I take about 18, 20. I don't want people passing by thinking, oh, there's some nut guy picking up rocks. Here is the top of the walkway right here. As we bend all around, I just separated this grass from what you saw on the other side, and I put it right in there, extending the whole bed out. And you can see I repeated that same again, the sedum, the alyssum, the vinca, and here is another one of those lavender topiaries. Then on this side right here, I just redid this whole bed. It used to end right here along the side of the house. So I extended it over here. I had some of these extra blocks, which I can't find that size any longer in Home Depot. Why? Question mark. Why? They do something and then they keep changing it. And then I extended it over here. I divided more sedum, some hosta back there, another one of those containers with the diplodenia, the cana lily, and the yellow marigolds in it. And you can see the purple irises all across the back, which just look absolutely beautiful when they bloomed. Black mulch here to tie in with the black that I'm using back here. More of the catmint over here, again repeating that story, bringing it over to here. These are my grandmother's violet plants. I cut one up and I split it up. They're not looking so great right now, but they're so resilient. They will be back and full before you know it, so I'm not worried about that. Plus, I have more in case something like this one doesn't come back. I do have more that I can put in there and fix that all up. And then this container, again, to repeat the idea of the diplodenia right there, and then the yellow marigolds with the Dracaena spike that I overwinterized. Just made this little walkway right here the other day. I have a video, but it's not done yet. I'll show you that eventually, but here is the little walk that I just put in to make my life easier when I'm barefoot, to go around here to the on the side of the filter, so I can get around here, turn it off, turn it on, and whatnot. There used to be a heater right here, took the heater out, and it gives me much more access, but I'm loving my little sidewalk right here. So what I did right here is I used another 4x4 to make this section in here. I put a piece of euonymus right there that I took from the front, and I put this diplodenia right in here. I divided more sedum and more of the ornamental grass, and I also put in this trellis, which I'll show you. This is not done. This is a trellis that I put in here, and I'm going to put a bench right in here because it's such a beautiful view from here looking down into the garden, and I want to be able to sit there and admire all my hard work that I do. See, so I have a choice of my new little walkway, which gets me close to the house and to the hose and whatnot, and then that walkway over there, which is to the pool that people would normally take. These are some geraniums that I overwinterized. They're just beginning to come back right now. Excuse the hose, I just left it out because I'm constantly watering. Here is another diplodenia that I winterized. It's just coming back. More geraniums that aren't looking great, but they will. And an iris that I moved out. I didn't know where I was going to put it, so I stuck it in this pot. It's a little floppy right now. They always do that, and then they'll come back. Not worried about that. More hostas ready to go somewhere. My elephant ear plant, which kind of suffered a little bit, but you see a new leaf is coming out right here, and I think it's liking where it is, and I added some vinca vine in there as well. And then down over here, I have some of my ornamental grass that I pulled out, and again, I didn't want to throw it away, but I don't have a place for it right now, so just put it in a pot right here. It'll be fine, it'll grow up, and then I can transplant it. Another diplodenia right there from last year, and one more basil plant that's probably going down to the beach house, so I'm sitting it in there just to keep it nice and happy. Then here is one of these spike plants, which is just starting to come back. It's a burgundy one from last year, and another elephant ear right here. This leaf just came out today. And I have a couple of things soaking in water that I'm trying to save. Here are more diplodenia that I'm going to plant up in the front. I need to get some dirt. These are white diplodenia, and then these are the pink. I'm going to mix those together, and you can see I have 2 flats of Italian parsley right here, because we do use a lot of that. Over here, again, more of the grass that I need to put somewhere. This snake plant that my friend just gave us. That fir tree looks like it bit the dust, and it's probably going to be moved out. Okay, so let's go around the front. Okay, so here we are on the side of the house. Another one. This is the third of the lavender topiaries that I got. And here is the basil that I was telling you about that, faces south. And usually you can see it's doubled in size already in like 2 days. Okay, right here is like more of a rock garden again. If you didn't catch my initial video, what I tried to do in here is I put stones. I made, it looks like a dry riverbed in there, just to give it the illusion of, some kind of movement like water and whatnot. I stuck this chair here, and I put some heavy pots on it so it doesn't blow away. So you can see it comes down and it trickles down between the hostas here and that other area, that other bed that I have right there, and then it opens up wide, and I have my stepping stones for MaryAnn and my sister-in-law to go back and forth. My sister-in-law lives next door to us. You can see these irises that I put in. Again, like I said, they're a little bit of burnt leaves and they got floppy, but look, they're coming back right now. Here, this has some irises in it, some canna lily, some marigolds, as well as a vinca vine. And there is another one of the violets from my grandmother, and you can see, look at it, it's very aggressive. So, once it takes off, I will decide what stays and what leaves and what gets moved. Again, here is another pot that I saved from last year. This spike is just coming back. I added in the yellow marigolds, and my potato vine is also showing some growth that is from last year. It's the only one that survived from last year. I'm not having great luck holding them from one year to another, but I'm happy when I get one. What are you gonna do, right? Doesn't that look pretty? There's that smoke tree from my father too. Okay, so you can see I repeat a lot of the same ideas with the rocks to give some movement, and the hostas and the barberry. I like the burgundy against the greens, the euonymus, the variegated, so that again it gives some interest, and and you don't have to play with so much with flowers when you can play with the color of your shrubs. So this empty pot, I know you're saying you still have an empty pot and it's the middle of May. Yeah, well, that's where those diplodenia, the white and the pink, are going to go in here. I just got them. We've been having crazy weather. It's been getting, it's been hot, and then it gets cold and whatever. So that's going to get the diplodenia hopefully today. These are some yellow barberry, and you can see this one suffered from over the winter, and I'm trying to cut it so that I can get it back into its square shape again. This euonymus is variegated with the green and the yellow to play off of the yellow barberry. There's another pot that needs some diplodenia, Here is a barberry that a boxwood actually grew together with it, so it's giving it this unique kind of a color here. And let's go over here. So what happened was my gravel was starting to move around so much that I was losing it, and rather than go get the a dump truck of it, because the delivery fee is absolutely astronomical right now, I've just been slowly getting some bags from Home Depot. It's a slightly different color right now, but it will even out. So again, I'm not worried about it, and it looks much better than it did. Okay, let's come around here. I have this very late blooming azalea, and I need to get the azalea food. I know people are screaming when they see it. It looks crappy, but once I start feeding it, it will fill out again. I don't know what type that is. I don't know what species that is. It's not the normal azalea. It gets very, very large pink flowers much later in the season. All right, so take a look at what I'm starting to. Remember this? I did this. These lavender I planted in here. I redid the wall, this stack stone wall around this round section right here, and I added in the lavender and then the white rocks. And now what I'm doing is I am adding in this brick border that I'm absolutely in love with. I know I'm weird, right? But I love the way it looks. It looks so neat and clean, and it's much easier for me to edge the grass so that I'm not flipping up all of those stones and whatnot. So then again, I did that same trick where I used a couple of bricks in order to break it up, and I'm starting to come around this bend, and I'm going to go today again and get more. I only get about 30 at a time from Home Depot. They're 68 cents a piece, so it's not too bad, and I'm going to continue that all the way down here and around. You can see this really large azalea is just starting to bloom right now, but it's nowhere near where it usually does bloom, which makes me a little bit nervous, but fingers crossed it's gonna, hold on there and keep strong. Taxus yews, that's a juniper right in there, all those balls, and another big barberry that bends around right here. I think I'm gonna stop the bricks right there. I'm not gonna continue them down this side over here. Another boxwood, that one was really yellow. You can see it still has a little bit of the wind and snow damage, but it's coming back strong. Another azalea that's stuck back there. And my fir tree, for those of you that are hoping I didn't cut it down, not yet, still there. And my Alberta spruce here, which had a lot of this winter wind damage, is looking nice and much greener. Happy there. Another azalea. Taxus yews. More hostas. I have a lot of hostas on this side. So I'm in the process of changing things right now. I've been inspired this year, and to tell you the truth, I stumbled on this guy from Kansas. His name is Mike in Moxie Gardens, and wow, what a beautiful garden he has, and he is so inspirational, and it's just like sparking me to get out here and change up a lot of stuff. So hopefully you're going to be seeing changes as we move along here. I have to finish that brick thing, and so I'm really happy with that. So that's a little bit of a project, but it shouldn't be that much longer. It just looks so much neater. Look at it. Look how much neater it looks. Okay, then here, I told you about this, my fake little waterfall right here as it's cascading down these rocks. And I moved some irises in here that, again, excuse me, look a little bit shot, but they'll be fine. Again, we've got to look forward. And I didn't get my pots yet for the front steps. I'm debating on what I want to do there. I might be doing ferns instead of flowers, because I'm always sweeping, and that can be a pain in the butt for me too. Okay, everybody, so that's it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and I will be seeing you really soon. You take care, and I hope everything is going great for you guys. Bye-bye.